Corey Savage is one of a handful of social workers who serves the students in the Tuscaloosa County school system. He splits his time between two schools. The two schools combined have more than 2,500 students.
That's the tough part, is that you're split between two schools, and the resources just not in place right now to have a social worker at every school. So you really lament that.
On the day we stopped by, just before noon, Savage had already seen 6 students. Savage says there is a spike in the numbers of students seeking help with mental health issues.
The average student is just, needs support. They just need mental and emotional support. Hey, Mr. Savage, I've got a big test coming up, or I'm stressed about this tryout, or things are getting hard at home and I need help navigating how to feel and how to think about that. Food insecurity in homes, to abuse and neglect, to just general anxiety, suicide protocols, homicide protocols. It's very, you see it all in terms of mental health and emotional distress with students.
Social workers within the Tuscaloosa County school system have protocols in place to help students maintain their mental health. Students who need support from Savage can simply scan the QR code on forms throughout the school to set up an appointment. Teachers also reach out seeking his support on behalf of their students.
There are things that we do to kind of calm them down, get them, breathing, and then we kind of talk through that. That was a crisis, right? That was a student who could not function in the classroom, who could not continue on with their day until they got immediate assistance.
When Savage isn't meeting with students, he is teaching the students the importance of educating themselves and advocating for themselves by finding a trusted adult in school or their community to confide in when times get tough. He also spends time during the day planning group therapy sessions and referring students to long-term care, and that's when he is faced with a new set of challenges.
But what we're seeing in our community is the ability to refer out for students and adolescents and children is the options are few and far between. And so we do have to expand our search for assistance and aid. And not saying that the partners that we have in place are not doing adequate work. It's just that there are just not a lot of them. And you got to think about the number of students that we have in our county school system, not including the city, because they're serving the city also. And so the need is just heavily outweighing these institutions and agencies' capacity to deliver services to our students.
So how do we fix the problem with the lack of mental health services in our schools? Savage offers this solution.
I think there needs to be an emphasis from the top down at the state level to increase funding for adolescent mental health services and just mental health in general. I think that once we see a commitment to funding these institutions, then in turn you will see a commitment at the local level.
And when that support gets to the local level, additional mental health services should trickle back to the students.